Hey guys, Abel Ramos and Jackie Potter with Compass. We're going to be talking about our June market update for Santa Barbara South Coast, what took place last month, and how we compare to June of 2023. So let's kick it off, Jackie, with our highest and lowest price sale of the month.
Well, it was a very interesting month for sales here. Our lowest sale was a mobile home in Goleta on Hollister Ave, and that was for $315,000. That was off market. And the highest sale was a $70 million Padaro Lane property. Interestingly, the seller took those funds and purchased back her previously sold property, which sold for $32 million in February. And then last month, the seller rebought it for $32 million again. Wow. And if you watch that market update, you'll get a little more information on that one, but it is a beautiful home.
And that was one of two sales that took place in Montecito last month, over $30 million.
And how many were there?
I think we had 6 sell last month in Montecito over 10 million, but 2 of those 6 were in the 30 million price point. Yeah. So you can see the drastic difference in price point here. Yeah. Obviously, not much to choose from at $315,000 worth of mobile home, and only the exclusive few can afford a $32 million home.
It's funny because they're like, I don't know, 12 minutes away from each other, but it's such a humongous change in price.
Which leads us to our median sales price, still holding pretty strong. Last month at $1,995,000. Typically, if you watch these videos, you'll see our median price point usually ranges around 2.1. Yeah. So still within range. Nothing to the point where it's going to make me say, oh, prices are coming down. I just think we had less properties actually sell.
And we look at median, so it's not averaging in those $30 million properties.
Right.
So if you looked at average, I'm sure you could probably pull it up, but I'm sure the average would be
average price point.
Higher.
Yeah, it was still $4.8 million. So going off a median, which gives us a more realistic price of what our market is doing. But you'll see here, how many homes did we say we had available under 2 million?
I think we said it was 79 active listings, condos and single family, and under 2 million, and 45 just single family homes.
Those numbers appear to be up though, and I think that would be more in line with what we're seeing in our market trend as far as months of inventory. If you watch these videos, you've heard us say we've had months of inventory under 1 month. We've slowly seen that climb throughout the year. We are now officially at the 3-month of inventory marker. So inventory
that's the highest it's been in years.
Quite some time. Yeah, and it's climbing. So we are seeing more homes come to market, and we are seeing less sales volume in our market.
Yeah.
So transactions overall would be down as a whole in comparison to previous years.
Yeah, we had actually exact same amount of sales as last month, 120 sales, which is 3% up from last year. And for single families, it was 81, and condos, it was whatever that math is, 39.
Right. And, to the start of the year of January, we only had 86 total sales. Yeah. So you can see we are up a decent amount, but nothing drastic from what we experienced in 2022, 2021, and even 2020. So 2020 would put us at 85 sales right around the time of the pandemic.
Yeah.
To think that we experienced those same amount of sales in January of 24 gives you some context that sales have actually slowed down. Typically in our market, just to give you some more context, pre-COVID, in June, you could expect to typically see about 180 to 190 sales. So you can see 120 today, or last month, compared to what we previously would have seen years back for the month of June, we are down about 60 sales. Yeah. That's quite a bit.
It's important to know that because I think what COVID really did was just take a whole lot of action out of the market for quite some time. And that's why I think tracking the amount of sales that's happening is important to see like when those homes are starting to come up, because it really did kind of lock people in and stop people from, I think, transacting as much just because of the opportunity they had when they purchased. Yeah. So it's going to take a long time to come out of all of that inventory that got sucked.
For sure.
And then anchored people in.
We are seeing it increase, which is great, but we have a few other variables, right? We have very high interest rates. We have affordability issues because obviously our price point has increased drastically from 2018 to 2019.
We have an election year.
We have an election year, possibly going to have rates. At this point in time, they're still saying September may experience the first rate cut from the Fed, to be seen. I still don't think that's actually going to take place, but we will find out soon enough. 42% of the sales last month, though, all cash transactions.
Yeah, talking about the economy, I mean, that's pretty crazy to still have 42% cash and 31% over asking.
Right. And just to give you some context for the year to date, we're at about 43% all cash transactions. So that number is still holding strong.
Yeah.
A lot of money in our market. We did a Montecito tour.
Yeah.
We were talking about data there. I think for June, they were at 67% all cash transactions. And that was with the median sales price at 4.950, right?
6.9?
So it was 4.9, a little over $4.9 million. So still almost 70% of those sales, all cash transactions, a lot of money flowing into our market.
A lot of competition, so be really tight with your price and your terms. That's what you got to know. You got to come in strong still. And when you're forming that offer, it's good to know single family homes are spending only 20 or 32 days on market and condos is only 24 days on market. So you really need to be playing into that game.
Yeah, and if you're listening to this, whether you're a buyer or seller, let's look at those numbers she just gave, right? Those are numbers as a whole for all the sold listings that took place for the month of June. We also track this data on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
So if you're curious to know a little bit more about the weekly data, let's just look at the last 2 weeks in July, since we are in July. I know this is a market update for June, but let's talk July. We had the active listings we have right now. For this week, we had 250 active homes on the market. We're seeing an average days on market out of those active inventory, 53 days. So you can see there's a difference between 53 days and
the ones closing
in 32 or 24, right?
Yeah.
So look at this. We tracked also the closed sales on a weekly basis. Let's just look at last week. Out of the closed sales, we had 17 properties close. We have an average days on market for those 17 properties at 12 days.
It's less than 2 weeks still.
So very competitive, like Jackie has said. I'm going to add in if you're priced aggressively, correctly.
And in a good market, in that competitive market.
Right. So and let's just give you something else here too. Pending transactions last week, we had 22 pending sales, 17 days on market. Still, both of those figures are well below the numbers we just quoted as a whole. I'm going to give you one more comment here about days on market, okay? Back on market, not many properties back on market, but we had 2 for the first week of July. We had 4 for the week of July 9th. Average days on market, roughly around, let's call it 55 days on market. So again, if you're not priced right, expect to sit on the market.
And what happens when you sit on the market and buyers see that you're over the average days?
You're going to take a price drop.
They're undercutting you. Yeah. They're going to put an offer in. They're going to see you as an opportunity purchase. They're going to know you're in a desperate situation, and you're not going to get that strong offer you want. So
if you are a seller or contemplating selling and you're wanting to make as much money as you possibly can, please be aware that obviously we want that too.
Yeah.
But pricing it at the highest possible price is not the strategy.
Nope. You want to get multiple people and then be negotiating from a place of power.
Right.
And for buyers, what this shows me is there are some opportunity purchases out there if you can get in on a seller who had the wrong strategy. If you start seeing something sitting on the market for 55 days, you know the conversation between that agent and seller is, wow, this is way past the average. You know, we really need to negotiate, drop the price, Something's got to happen, and that's when you get in there.
And one more thing we'll mention, just because she brought up buyers. I looked at the Mortgage News Daily website yesterday for the end of the week, and the jumbo rate was right just above 7%. It was 7.06. That has come down as we've gotten news in the media about inflation coming down, possibly entering a recession. Rates have started to decline.
Yeah.
And so what they're saying is the Fed could drop rates in September. If they did that, you're going to see mortgage rates come down a little bit too.
Yep.
My question there is, are we going to see a flock of buyers coming back to the market?
History would prove yes.
Right. So I think if interest rates drop below 7, rest assured it's going to get more aggressive and more competitive out there. I was reading another economic forecast yesterday as well. It also said that the undervalued markets that are close to the expensive markets, for example, we have Buellton, the Valley, we have Ventura, we have Oxnard. What they're seeing is they are seeing those undervalued markets start to actually increase with buyer demand and seeing a price increase as well as these communities like Santa Barbara are pushing out really good buyers that just simply can't afford to buy in our market.
Mostly
anymore.
local people who still need to work here but can't afford to buy here. So you have to move to Ventura. You have to go to Santa Maria in order to still make your lifestyle work.
So we might see some change in those markets. You might see more aggressive, buyer demand there. You might see prices start to increase. If you are a buyer, since we're talking about that, you may need to look for that next opportunity for you to make some equity.
And I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, I helped 2 clients get down into Ventura last year, and I just sent them an article that I saw that said Ventura is in like the top 5 most underrated California housing markets, which means, dang, you made a great investment. So you couldn't afford in Santa Barbara, you bought in Ventura, and now those prices are skyrocketing. He purchased those properties in order to hold them for the next 20, 30 years. He's going to be making a lot of money off of that. So there's still opportunity, even if it might not be the first choice that you would have had.
Yeah.
I think that's really the conversation when it comes to purchasing in a market like ours. In California in general, it's not your dream home first, but it's the right home that's going to be that stepping stone to what you really want.
So if you're a seller, like we've said, pricing is of the utmost importance, always have been, but pricing with the strategy in mind to negotiate from a position of leverage and power is going to be the most important, right? So you're going to want to work with your agent to discuss the best possible pricing strategy, not just looking to maximize listing at the highest possible price. If you are a buyer, maybe your opportunity to get in and negotiate on a deal is now. Should rates come down in the next couple months, I think that favorable period or time to negotiate may start to get smaller and smaller, that window of opportunity.
Agree.
So thank you so much for checking this out and watching our market update for the month of June for the Santa Barbara South Coast. I'm Abel Ramos.
I'm Jackie Potter.
We're with Compass, and we'll see you later.
Bye.